Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to teach you how to use Keyhole and Pseudo F2L to help you solve your F2L a lot faster. Keyhole F2L is a way to insert the other F2L piece in a pair while one piece in a pair is already inserted. For example, in this case, we already have the corner, however, the edge is still outside. Now, what we can do is use the normal edge insertion algorithm, but that's not that fast. What we can do is shift the entire layer with this empty slot, insert the edge, and move the entire layer back. Keyhole F2L can be used as a method to solve the first two layers in a beginner's way. However, this is not what I'm aiming at. This is for more of the advanced cubing players because your required knowledge is some of the advanced F2L algorithms and also a lot of intuitivity about cubing. With that all out of the way, we can start with some of the basic concepts of Keyhole F2L. Let's explain where the name comes from first. We want this piece to go into here. The actual piece that is moving is called the key, and the slot that we want it to go into is called the keyhole, because you put the key into the keyhole. Now what we want is to move the keyhole into an empty slot that is not already solved, so you can't do keyhole when all of the other three slots are solved. There must be an empty slot. What we can do is move this piece that we need outside into the empty slot. We can take the piece, insert it into the slot that we just moved out, and then we can shift the entire layer back, and the piece will go in where we want it to. I just did a demo with a corner. Edges work as well. For example, we have this edge right here. It can go into this slot. What we can do is move the slot out. We can do a E move, but that's not the most efficient because you kind of have to hold the top layer. Instead, what we can do is shift the entire top layer using a U-wide move like this. And then, when we have the slot that we want over an empty pair, what we can do is use a sledgehammer to move this piece in where it should go. Like that. And now we can shift the entire layer back like this. Returning to the corner example from previous, we want to make sure that when we insert the corner, it goes in the right direction. For example, here we have the edge like this, and the white side is facing down. We want to make sure when we insert the corner, the white is still on the bottom. For example, if we move this slot out and insert this corner this way, it won't work because the corner isn't, the white isn't facing down. So what we want instead is to insert it like this, where orientation is still correct. Another use for Keyhole F2L is when one of your pieces, the corner or the edge, is not twisted correctly. For example, in this case, what we can do is move this entire layer out, and we can, rotate the corner outside. And because in usually this F2L case, you have to do some weird stuff with the corner and the edge, we can now just do something like this. We can do as we did before, move the corner out, and then we can do this. We can just rotate the corner freely without having to worry about the edge on top of it, and then we can move the entire layer back. Now we also see another corner twisted here. However, we can't use Keyhole F2L here because all the other three slots are occupied, and you can't really do anything else with this because it'll just mess up that slot. In this case, you're going to have to do the F2L case normally. I just want to really quickly go through the edge case when the edge is not flipped correctly. Again, we can rotate the entire U-wide layer, and then we can do an edge flipping algorithm like this, so you can just move it out and then sledgehammer it back in, and then we can insert it like this. And last but not least, I want to go through some keyhole conventions. For example, when we have this corner here and the edge, the slot it's supposed to go into right here, we don't want to do first a D move and then a U prime move and then insert it. What we want to do instead is do a U prime and a D together like this. So push with my ring finger and my index, insert, and we don't have to come back on the top because the top doesn't really matter. We just want to come back on the bottom like this. So all of that together, it would look like this. As I promised before, now is a little bit of an introduction to Pseudo F2L. This is similar to what we did when we were doing Keyhole. We have this edge that needs to go in here, and we can insert it like this. However, we also see that this other slot right next to it is empty. What we can do is insert both of these at the same time by shifting this slot underneath this edge. And now we can insert both of these at the same time and do the two pairs very quickly. This is a form of multi-slotting. Now, the tricky thing about this is that both of these pieces have to be orientated correctly. Usually the way I figure it out is that the red or the same color that appears on both of the pieces have to be not on the same side. So if they're like this, then it won't be correct because they're on the same side. They have to be like this, in a bit of a checkerboard pattern. Now, as I showed before, we want to move this slot under here, and then we can insert this, well, pseudo pair. And now we can shift the layer back. And as you can see, we multi-slotted or solved two slots at the same time. I hope you understood what Keyhole F2L is, and maybe got a gist of what Pseudo F2L is. That's going to be all for this video. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them down below in the comment section. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time. Goodbye!